Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video tutorial we will learn about comparison of DNA and RNA. Let me tell you their full form. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. This is the full form of DNA. And let me tell you the full form of RNA. Ribonucleic acid. They both are present in the nucleus. DNA is the hereditary material, means it's take the information from generation to generation. As I have told you that DNA and RNA both are present inside the nucleus. Our chromosomes are made up of DNA plus proteins. So chromosomes are compact and condensed form of DNA. There are 46 chromosomes present in our body. 46 chromosomes means 23 pairs of chromosomes. 23 chromosomes we are taken from the father side and 23 chromosomes from the mother side. So 23 plus 23, 46 chromosomes. We have chromosomes of father as well as mother. That is why we have few characteristics of father and few characteristics of mother side. But if you look at the RNA, RNA is not a hereditary material, but it is used in protein synthesis and it has three types. Number one is messenger RNA, number two is transfer RNA, and number three is ribosomal RNA. These three types of RNA help in protein synthesis or in DNA replication. Now let's come to next point. Next point is DNA has double-stranded structure. Means this is one strand, this is two strand. These two strands are twisted to each other. So this is the actual structure of DNA. But if you look at the RNA, RNA is the single strand structure. This single strand structure is fold to each other to make it coil. So here we have learned about structure of DNA and RNA. DNA is double-stranded structure and RNA is single-stranded structure. Now let's talk about next point. Next point is nitrogenous bases. We know that DNA is made up of polynucleotide. What is mean by polynucleotide? Polynucleotide means DNA is made up of pentose sugar plus phosphate group plus nitrogen bases. This is called nucleotide. So DNA is made up of polynucleotide, means more than two nucleotides are combined together. They form the helix structure of DNA. There are two types of nitrogenous bases. Number one is purine and number two is pyrimidine. Let's talk about purine. Purines means adenine and guanine, and pyrimidine means cytosine, and pyrimidine means cytosine and thymine. Scientists have given the name of nitrogenous bases according to their structure. Purine means they are double ring structure. Look at here, this is double ring structure, and pyrimidines means they are single ring structure. So purines are adenine and guanines, both are double ring structure, and pyrimidine means they are single structure such as cytosine and thymine. Now let's talk about RNA. If you look at the nitrogenous basis of RNA, so it is same as the DNA, but there is a little difference in RNA, that in the purine, in both RNA and DNA, purine are same, means adenine and guanine. But if you look at pyrimidine, there is no thymine in RNA. Instead of the thymine, there is a uracil. So pyrimidine are cytosine and uracil. There is no thymine. You got my point? Let me repeat my word. There are two types of nitrogenous bases. Let me repeat my word. DNA and RNA both are made up of polynucleotide. What is mean polynucleotide? Pentose sugar is bound with the phosphate group plus nitrogen bases. This is called nucleotide. Here we have to talk about nitrogenous bases, means we are talking about nitrogenous bases. There are two types of nitrogenous bases. Number one is purine and number two is pyrimidine. According to their structure, scientists have given their name. Purines means they are double ring structure and pyrimidine means they are single ring structure. In purine, adenine and guanine are included. And in pyrimidine, cytosine and thymine are included. Now look at RNA. RNA has same nitrogenous bases, means purine and pyrimidine. Purines means they are talking about adenine and guanine, as DNA have. So RNA have adenine and guanine. But there is a little difference in RNA. There is a little difference in RNA. In DNA, the pyrimidine means cytosine and thymine, but in RNA, there is no thymine. Instead of the thymine, there is uracil. So it means pyrimidines means cytosine. Look at here, there is also cytosine, but here there is a thymine and here there is uracil. Now let's talk about last point. Why we say DNA as a deoxyribose nucleic acid. Look at the chemical structure of DNA. There is a first carbon, there is a second carbon, there is a third carbon, there is a fourth carbon, and there is a fifth carbon. So this is pentose sugar. Number 1 carbon, number 2 carbon, number 3, number 4, and number 5 carbon. Here H and OH group are present. Carbon. So this is pentose. Pentose means 5 carbon sugar. At each side of the carbon there is HOH group, means here is H and OH group, H and OH group, as I have wrote here. At number 1 carbon there is H and OH group are present. At number 2 side there is only H group is present. At number 3 carbon, H and OH both are present. So why we say it as deoxyribose? Because at number 2 carbon there is no oxygen group. Look at number 2 carbon, this is number 2 carbon and there is no oxygen group. Oxygen group has removed from carbon number 2. That is why we say it deoxy. But in case of RNA, the same pentose sugar structure I have drawn here, and look at number 2 carbon. At number 2 carbon, H and OH both groups are present. Even H and OH group is present at all 5 carbon. So that is why we say it ribose nucleic acid, because H and OH groups are attached with the 5 carbons. But in DNA, at number 2, oxygen group was removed at number 2 carbon. That is why we say it deoxyribose nucleic acid. So here oxygen is present, so its name is ribonucleic acid. There is no oxygen group, that is why we say it as deoxyribonucleic acid. I hope you understand this video. If you like my video, please thumbs up and share with your family and friends. Thank you so much for watching.